The number 34 on this, here you can see that the number 34 is positive. Okay, so conditional statement is going to work like this ones. Of course, we do have also looping statements. So if you are trying to consider a looping statement, let the number be as it is, and let me comment out all the other parts. Okay, Okay, so looping statement can also be used in the other programming language like C++. So you are going to use this kind of structure in order to represent. Okay, int I is going to start from 0, while the value of I is less than or equivalent to some value 100. I is equivalent to I plus 1. Okay, then you open the brace and you close. Then whatever the statement that you need to put, all others is going to come here. All other comes here. Okay, so I think the Spanish, you have raised your hand. Please go ahead. You are muted. The Spanish.
ይቅርታ ስላቋረጥኩ አይ 12 ስንጽፍ ለምን ኤረር እንዳመጣ ስላልገባኝ
ለምን ሮንግ እንዳመጣ
12
Okay, on this part, on these sections, because here user input ነበር አለ ዳይሬክትሊ ያስገባውትኝ እዚህ ጋር ይሄንን ኮሜንት አደረኩትኝና እንደዚህ ነበር የሰጠሁት አይደል? Just wait. So because I don't need this for the time being, so let me comment them. And the ጊዜ እስካሳያት ድረስ ይሄን ኮሜንት ላድርገው. So I have used like this ones, so that this one is nothing but the number. እዚህ ጋር ያለኝ ቫልዩ ደግሞ ማን ነው? ነምን ነው ዳይሬክትሊ ተቀበልኩት። ነምን ተቀበልኩኝና ነምን ከማጋ ነው ኮምፔር ያደረኩት? ከቁጥር ጋር ነው. Because this is a string and this is the number. Number cannot be compared with the string. Numberን ከስትሪንግ ጋር ምን ማድረግ አይቻልም? ኮምባይን ማድረግ አይቻልም ወይንም ኦፕሬት ማድረግ አንችልም. That's why it's going to generate an error. Is that clear?
Yes.
Okay, let me lower your hand in that case. So if that is clear, then I can go ahead on this ones. Okay, so let me return it back to the original one, the comment. Now this is going to be used in order to perform the tasks. Okay, for int I is going to start from 0, I less than or equivalent to 100, I is going to be I plus 1. So at every increment of I by 1 is going to be used in this scenario. So whatever the code that you have is going to come in here, but we don't have such a kind of the codes in the Python. So the equivalent representation for this one is, let's say here we are going to output see out the value I. So the equivalent representation for this is going to be this ones. Okay, so we can use for something I, for I in range, because the value that we need to have is from 1 to 100, right? Less than or equivalent to 100. 0,101 is going to be used, then semicolon is going to be terminated, then we can print the value of I. So this is going to display number 1 from 1 to hundreds. Okay, because the number is somehow large, so that let me make it 1 to 10. Okay, ከአንድ እስከ 10 ነው, less than or equivalent to no. But if you are using the range, it's going to be the last minus 1. Okay, the last element is in each case is 11, so that it's going to display up to the value 10. እስከ 10 ድረስ ያሉትን ቫልዩዎችን ዲስፕሌይ ያደርግልናል። 11ኛውን ዲስፕሌይ ያደርግልናል. So this is an equivalent code for this ones. Okay, of course there are some additional things that we can perform, but for the time being, let's see this one as it is. Okay, so let me save it and let me try to run the module, because I didn't comment out this line, so it automatically requests me. So let me comment for the time being. Later on we'll try to customize that once. Okay, run the module, save. Okay, then here you can see that it's going to start from 0 and it goes up to the number 10. Okay, it starts from 0, the number 0, and it goes up to the number 10. Okay, the last number minus 1, which is to be 11 minus 1 is going to be 10. It's going to move up to the value 10. Of course, if we just wanted to replace after receiving the value from the user, we can make it in here the num. Okay, so from 0 up to the num, whatever the value that the user inserted is going to be mapped into this ones. Okay, please type here. Let's say that I'm trying to put the value 15, then it's going to display up to the number 14. Okay, it's going to display the number up to 40. So the last element is going to be excluded. If you just wanted to include the last element also, then don't forget to make it +1. Okay, the num +1 of this parts. Okay, not only this ones, it can also provide you some complex statements. Let's say if we do have range 0, num, so by default, every time it's going to increase the value of I by 1 in these steps. Okay, if I just try to use in here 2, okay, 0, num, 2, if I use this statement, then automatically the result is going to be different. Okay, if I try to run, then before I run, so this to mean is to mean that, so start from the number 0 and goes to up to the number none, but the step is not every time incrementing by 1, rather it's going to increment by 2. Okay, so let me try to run this one, and if I try to provide the number 25, if I use the number 25 in here, you can see what the output is. Okay, 0, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, then it's going to continue. So every even number is going to be displayed for the users. Okay, every even number is going to be displayed for the users. Okay, because the step is by 2. Okay, by default it's going to be step of 1. Okay, by default is going to be step of 1. And we don't know that this may be some negative numbers, -5. Let's say that start from -5 and go to the some value. We can consider these cases. Okay, we can consider these cases. So if you just take into account these elements, then it's going to start from the -5, then it goes up to the value that we have specified. Okay, here you can see that it's going to start from -5 and it goes up to the number 11, or I mean not number 11, rather the number 11 minus 1, which is to mean up to 10. So that is going to start from -5 and it goes up to this point. So you can change the steps. Okay, you can change the steps. In addition to that, we have also the special type of keyword, especially when we are working with looping statements. We can bring also the index. Okay, we can bring also the index. Okay, so in here I can include the index, I. Then in here I can do enumerate. Enumerate is to mean that I just wanted to include their index value. Let's say that if you are trying to display from this number up to this one, then this is going to be 0's index, 1 index, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So for every element, the index is going to be associated with that values. Okay, so here I can display the index. So if you have enumerate, expect us 2 parameters for these ones. So enumerate is going to take the first value is the index, whereas the second element is nothing but the value that we want to display. So let me try to run using the same techniques. Okay, so the step is by 1, then the number that I'm going to provide is still the number 11. So here you can see that the first element is -5, the second one is 4, -4, -3, -2, -1, 0, and it continues like that one, 1, 2, 10, 1 to the value 10. So every of the element is going to be displayed for the users. Every of the element that we have under this part is going to be displayed for the users. So for index, I in enumerate range, starting from the -5, it goes up to the num. Okay, so this one is just for this column, whereas the I is for these values. Okay, we can pass different elements. Now, let's just try to write a a Python program that accepts a number from the users and displays some elements. Elementoችን display እንዲያደርግ ፈለገን. Let's say that if I just try to take into account one example, so that here I have the number 1, number 2, 3. This is going to be the number from 1 to 25. Let's say, then this is going to be this square. Okay, so I can use equal power function, the number that I have in here, comma square. I'm just trying to give you some example. Okay, I'm just trying to give you some examples. Okay, and in here it's going to be the cube. Okay, this is going to be the cube, the power of a1 comma 3 is going to be considered under that parts. So let's assume that we just wanted to construct this kind of value. Can you see my Excel? Okay,
Yes.
thank you. Okay, good. So here we do have the number and the square and the cube, as you can see from these parts. What if we just wanted to display such a kind of numbers? Okay, simply we can do using these values. Okay, let this two start from 1 and it goes up to the number. Okay, minus 1 ሳይሆን እስከ ቁጥሩ ድረስ የምንፈልገው in that case we have to assign the minus ones. In that case we have to assign the minus 1 in that case. So how do I do these ones? So it's going to start from I, then I is going to be, the first one is for I, for the second one is I multiplied by I is going to be considered for the square, or I can use power I comma 2. I is to mean the number, 2 is to mean the square. Okay, just like as we have used in the Excel. So we can also use I multiplied by I. Okay, this is for the cube, this is for the square, this is for the number, and this is for the index. Okay, let's just try to see this one, then I will try to customize accordingly later on. Okay, so if I just try to put the number 15, here is the value that we have in that places. So the number, this is the index. So I just wanted to make the index to start from 1. So this is going to be 1 in the next step. 1, 1, 1, 1. Okay, this is the number, this is the square, this is the cube. Okay, this is the number, this is the square, this is the cube. The number, the square, the cube. Then it's going to proceed like that once. If I just wanted to display one after the others, I can concatenate. This is, by the way, any kind of data can be concatenated in these ways. Okay, and since all the values are numeric value, if I try to use a plus sign, then it's going to sum all those values. Okay, it's going to sum all those values. Okay, so you have to be careful. Okay, in this case, then it's going to display 0 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1. 3 is going to be displayed in the first one. On the second one, 8 plus 4, 12, 12 plus 3, 12 plus 3, 15 is going to be this one, 3, 50, and the next is going to be 41, and it's going to continue like that one. So you have to provide appropriate data type. So here, str is doing casting to the string data type. The string data is going to be concatenated with another string. str is going to be used for this one too, and the same thing applies for this one. str is going to be used, that is to mean the string data type. Then the last element is going to be also converted to the string data type. So as you can see from these parts, all the elements have been converted to the string data type, and it is concatenated. So the result is going to be the same, but there is no any space between them. Okay, there is no space between them. Okay, if I try to put the number 15, so here it is.